enti na che se e won sem fufuro mu no ebusia yeti krodi man ehu se Burkina Faso omaye kudita bi wo hono ma che se Ghana fo bebre na e kasete e se Burkina e free Burkina aba Ghana de ka me ko e se sebe pedia se adwuso koko ba wonya gina ye na adwuso nko ade free Ghana hakoto ho a odwuso betumi akoka ho a enya asam keto a enti ene ye kasai pa enya asam keto ne Captain Ibrahim Taro ono ne ye se okofa saade we nyina e de ba ebusi no da screen so very fine gentleman ene enya asam keto for some time no trendy here papa esa se na Ghana fo bi ehu ne se oye bema mu he's a man that could stand esa se na the way Burkina Faso e kosto no na emu o hye papa enya asam keto a ensema beto ya pon so ne sesesi a Burkina Faso awon de won toma akobo Russia de anu a chesesi anu kudita no free hello hi kudita no ye do nuclear enya sem ketwa na uzo uti Russia na wakisa kwa macho Putin ti ni ba bia sesi a Putin na ngasa minim nipa kro okro de owo wiasem ha wonsuru Putin afedi Burkina Faso chirema e wo so mtumi e de omontoma ekobo Putin dia no sene be yam omo ne omo ebe sign nuclear power deal bia chese wo sesi ana omotumi ehu kwan faso se ne ese kupu no moto aso so omo ye ni na chese ka ko ekse baby to say Burkina Faso de nya dia ombe say akọ back into democracy menya sure it sounds baby e ni chire dia enti wo obi a wo hye ni mu dia ene chese me pese me chire mu se omo de omo ntoma akọbọ Russia no na chese omatumi abo mo makra akode a chese emu odwerem akode ekode ewu ankasa na omde abom kromo ene omde abom ho ba wo na wo se so ye MPP a kwara kosisu na kodi etem na ezi ano Burkina Faso say na mdika is just a stone throw from Ghana many abrese say they want to sign nuclear and then enya asem ketwa chese like they've agreed on signing a memorandum of understanding kura chese ma just I don't know ya nesa anya sa fikra no mokoy they have done it already it ushema is this thing going to benefit the Burkina Faso as a whole and I say it's just going to cause more harm than good to them.
You see, one thing people are not noting is that Adiwe, it triggers from the top. Burkina Faso was just like Ghana. It had a president, it had ministers, it had a cabinet. Everything was going on well, even though Nanyamankoi. But along the way, Kudita is here. That is because they had a president who was careless, uncare. People in his cabinet were enriching themselves, corruption, koso, and even those in power no president and co, they wanted to be on forever. So it prompted the first coup d'etat, it prompted another coup d'etat, and we saw a wave of coup d'etats in West Africa. Ghana, luckily for us, Bobi said which will be very bad if that happens. So it happened, ECOWAS condemned it, but ECOWAS condemned it, and one country which I say almost that in Kenya was Russia. And Russia too wants to become the new world power into our fast coup d'etat military so near no they gaining our power. So they say they are in support of Burkina Faso if the people are chanting say they support the coup d'etat. The same thing happened in Niger, Cameroon, Mali, and even Gabon. Now we are nuclear fuel. Right after that, so ECOWAS said threatening say obe attacking Niger if the coup d'etat and other countries or coup d'etat if the military don't get in power. Russia said ECOWAS should dare not. Now it had boasted some of these people, the coup d'etat countries like Burkina Faso, Niger, it are almost some kind of power because Russia no, you see Russia Russia and this are famous coup d'etat, but the World War III. It's not the World War III is not going to be a war of guns. It's going to be a war of nuclear power. Nuclear power no and no a to Ghana a be yam bibia and a nuclear power crown so won't be a particular place for the next 20 years nobody can live there because nuclear reactors new radiation emitting straight away it destroy your lungs. Let me take you a little back into history. During the World War II, Americans bombed 2 cities in Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I'm telling you, over 3 million people died. Those were just 2 nuclear bombs. And now the nuclear bombs now abano enhance. And now Russia, just last 2 weeks, almost tested a nuclear bomb, but it goes undetected. Once a nuclear bombs need be whereby you can detect it Omo America form as bit ma detect I intercepting this na Iron Dome near with Israel no. But now Russia so mo dey na undetectable. Omo test ye nya say akọ hit target a warning to US. In the Africa no sa undetectable nuclear weapons no ma ye no. Omo mo bebreu, omo yi ba kokra ma ye kra na it's okay. Because now that being said, no, we have seen these Burkina Faso and other people moving to Russia to secure arms, to secure some sort of prominence and certain things. Because US and support it. Coup d'etat until when the best support it Russia. So Niger, Burkina Faso, Gabon, coup leaders in air call Russia. Now. To battle, your friend is saying instability. No, almost say they are running to Russia for aid, Sika, for let's say certain things. They better like reasoning, government, basic issues. Policy, almost running to Russia, and now they are saying they are running to Russia for nuclear weapons and for nuclear power. Now look at this. This is taken in two folds. Remember, say last 3-4 months, Ghana ambassador to Burkina Faso and Burkina Faso ambassador to Ghana akasakasa eba omuntim. It was because Burkina Faso allowed Russia omu military so omu use ho enfanye training grounds. Okay. Emma ne be yen same P ni ade ne to na Russia force to be Ghana ne ade. Now bibi edu no omu so omu hia nuclear power. In Asama Burkina Faso for air cancer nuclear power, and they need it to bring electricity because they are having electricity and a power crisis in Burkina Faso. But the question is it power crisis? And I say it's war crisis. Because you see, why this is very dangerous is because they start with, we are kwaje for electricity. The next thing we will say, they've armed themselves in West Africa. Then somebody will start acting like Putin. Oba be konka Ghana na Burkina Faso. Ghana be kan Burkina Faso. No akọ konka your friend is say Cote d'Ivoire. Bunwa na the whole of Africa ba be Burkina Faso nation. Because they have so much. Are you serious in my dear? That is the playbook Russia for using Ukraine.
Burkina Faso nation,
Crimea and all those nations in now. Russia have annexed all of them. You can't annex that. Or the Oma become they are now a state of Russia. So it's omoya Crimea, omoya other things no. Omo call Ukraine, so from Ukraine omo call Poland. And a Poland non pen once wako joining NATO. And in Ukraine, the entire Ukraine person, US one person allowed Ukraine is immediately they annex Ukraine. The next thing is Poland. Then it goes before I realize Russia no eba be big like US and not the whole of Europe. Eba is also a superpower no more kono.
Yeah.
Because first, who read history, the 1960s, the world superpower was Russia. They were the first to land on the moon, the first to do nuclear weapons, the first in everything. And after the World War II, the Soviet Union it break it apart. Russia near other place on Bediomo. So, and same Pia, I think that the intelligence unit in Ghana, especially Kojo Ponkuma, should stop fighting MPP people, NDC people, or more any people who speak against the government on TV, and they need to be looking into this because yet it's Krumha, yes, Hamas, they be no more peace work, a day pet and almost sorry, almost launch attack. No, 1,300-500 people are dead. 1,005 and young people 16 years no more past. We've seen the videos, and it was an intelligence failure on the part of Russia, on the part of Israel and Hamas for peace. So Ghana, your intelligence committee, we need to look at something. Intelligence committee, I'm talking about the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ayoko Botri. I'm also talking about the Minister of Information, that is Kojo Ponkuma. I'm also talking about the Minister of Communication, Eslowusu. I'm also talking about the Defense Committee Chair in Parliament, Kennedy Japan, and his co-chair, Senator Rollins. They need to start looking at this. They need to start writing statements, because if Omo Kwakoye nuclear, secure nuclear dealer. One thing is, if your opponent is doing something, if you can't stop them, you have to be ahead of them.
Yeah.
A step. It is a ton kenke. Now opponents who ton kinky. Now and then also opponents or they buy 5 kinkies free, get 1 sardina, and also in a double.
Yeah.
buy buy 5 kinkies, get 1 sardine and 3 can cook. You have to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
So if you are sitting here na yenka same way, Semetia. And
it looks risky though. It looks very risky.
And yes, it looks risky. It is.
Very risky.
It is.
Yes,
because you see, who said the more bigger and the more people you have, and the more you're stronger as a nation.
Yes, yeah.
That is why Nigeria is Nigeria.
Yeah.
Omunya careful. Omunya very careful.
And to say they're careful na ni guswa ye be enti we say ye twam. But say Ibrahim Taro in ya bre pa we na dwen say ono de obepeja gabon asi baby obi be say Ghana ha no de you know nko kana sem hover aha ene edijime de ni be say